Are you waiting for something to happen to you? Lots of us are. We're kind of taught that the doctor gives us a pill and the pain stops. The fairy godmother waves her magic wand and something happens. And if you want to learn from nature, you need to approach it a little differently. Stay tuned and I will tell you what I mean. Hi, thanks for being here. I'm Laura Giles with Pan Society, and I think a lot of people are drawn to animism for what it can do for them, and they expect it to be something like, something's going to happen to them in the same way that if you drink alcohol, you lose your inhibition, or if you take drugs and you get high. And engaging in ritual, learning from nature, and being in the flow of life can sometimes be like that, but for me, most often, it's an engagement. It's an act of reciprocity. Nature is happening all around, and if I want to participate, it might just happen that amazement happens. And I never fail to be amazed by the night sky. All it has to do is be there. I live in the country and I have an unobstructed view as long as the clouds cooperate, and the moon shines through my windows with the most dazzling light. And that's an exchange. She shines, I appreciate, she receives, I receive. It's not a one-way transaction. Ceremonies are the same way. For example, the sweat lodge. I think that some people think that they go into a sweat lodge and they have this magical experience, visions, and purification happens. Well, what you don't see behind the scenes, or maybe don't understand, is that in the preparation and process, there's reciprocity. Prayers and offerings are happening from the ancestors, or to the ancestors. And if you sit there like a bystander with your hand out, you might just have a nice sauna experience, but nothing else. And you have to have an open heart. You have to be ready to receive, and you have to give something of yourself and be willing to leave something behind. Many times what you seek is definitely on offer, but the expectation that it shows up in a certain way gets in the way of seeing it. Or the expectation that it's just going to be given to you in a shiny box with a ribbon gets in the way in seeing it. So you don't see it, and then you think that nothing's happening. And the best growth sometimes happens quietly, like a seed that takes time to unfold. So you don't notice it growing until it's already sprouted. Or sometimes you have to be quiet and stop thinking to hear it whispering the answers to you. And I promise that everything any one of us needs is right here. But most often, it's not in the form that we expect. And it's in its own form, waiting for us to discover it. So how do you engage? Well, you could go to the forest and open your heart and listen if you're primarily auditory. And if you're visual, you can disengage your focus. Sit or walk with your peripheral vision and see what you see then. And close your eyes and see with your skin or see with your hands. And become more fully sensory rather than logical. If logic could get us all there, we'd already be there, wouldn't we? I think so. So don't just wait for something to happen. It's already happening, and all you have to do is see it. I do this all the time in my work. I guide people to hear the wisdom of their bodies. I guide them to see what they're not seeing, and I can tell you, nature does that too. But like me, nature isn't going to fight you to make you see it. It's going to wait until you're ready to see it. So if you aren't getting that $1 million that you want from the lottery tickets, engage with life. Sacrifice something to get it. And if you're not getting that fabulous love life, don't wait for it to fall in your lap. Engage, sacrifice something. And remember that sacrifice is about giving up something of value. It's supposed to hurt. So maybe it's your self-righteousness, your too busyness, or your pride that's getting in the way of meaningful connection. Well, are you holding on to that? It's for a reason. It's probably going to hurt to let all that go, but think of all that you can gain. So I'm not saying that you have to give up your firstborn. I'm just saying that it might have to hurt. It definitely will require something of you to move from here to there and to receive. Everybody's full. We're all full. We can't be more full unless we make space and give something up. So think of all the magical things that have happened in our lives. We can't be wonderstruck if we expect the next thing to surpass the last. We can be if we let ourselves always be in the space of willingness and newness and let each moment be brand new. So if you're waiting for something to happen to you, maybe you want to stop and see what's already happening. Maybe you want to engage. Maybe you want to make something happen. If you stand there with your hand out waiting for something in particular, you're probably going to miss the beauty of what's on offer. Animism is about relationship and engagement. So go connect. I'd love to hear your ideas about how you do this. And when you share, we all grow together, and that's part of the game too. So if this was useful, share it. Keep the love chain going. And I thank you for tuning in. Ciao. See you next time. Bye.